Today, General Hospital. It's Radhika storyline from Radhika, and we're going to talk about today's General Hospital, where a father admitted to a felony to save his son. A kid said a cowboy goodbye to the only real dad he's ever known, and Drew Kane made a clenched fist poolside while everyone was watching a 9-year-old swim. But first, please hit subscribe if you're not already following us. So today on General Hospital, we opened at the pool where Gio is on duty and Emma shows up, and Emma is happy to see Gio hasn't forgotten his humble beginnings now that he's a big rock star. They kiss, they flirt, and then Charlotte shows up. Emma tells Charlotte her swimsuit is super cute, and Charlotte immediately starts gushing about Gio saving a kid last week and asks if Carly gave him a bonus. Emma clearly hasn't heard any of it, which is awkward. Charlotte later makes herself a bit scarce, and Emma notes Charlotte has a little hero worship thing going on with Gio, and they both think Charlotte is probably lonely. Honestly, that little triangle is going to be a whole arc on its own. I can already feel it. And then we shift over to Rocco, who is folding towels at the pool when Sunny shows up. Sunny knows about the Cullum shooting and tells Rocco he never has to keep anything from him. Sunny says Rick says he's in the clear. Later, Charlotte snaps at Rocco about his attitude, saying Jason went to jail for what he did, so he doesn't get to be mad at Danny for trying to save his dad. She would have done the same thing. That's when Rocco comments, "Your dad will probably do something awful and get arrested again, so you might have to." Charlotte goes off about her dad being a hero now, that he and Danny distracted the WSB on Spoon Island so Carly could save Joss. She thinks he wouldn't have had the guts to do that, and Rocco yells, "The next time you and Danny screw up, don't expect me to take the fall." Now Rocco storms off. That scene hit hard, because Rocco is finally cracking under all this pressure, and the way Charlotte reacted is so on brand for her. She keeps picking fights she cannot win. Next, Dante stops by to see Laura, who warns him that Anna is digging into the Cullum evidence. Dante says there is no evidence tying Rocco to Cullum's shooting, but Laura says Anna is asking a lot of questions. Dante won't lie to her and admits he used his position to shield Rocco. The WSB would never believe what really happened, so he got rid of the gun and all the evidence. He knows it was wrong, but he was a father in that moment, not a cop. Laura says he is a good cop and father, and this wasn't an easy situation, but she worries Anna will keep digging until she gets the answers. Dante says he'll handle it, and that's a huge admission, and honestly I love that the show didn't try to make Dante a hero here. He just did what he had to do. Now after that, Chase shows up to see Anna, who wants to know why he's been demoted to beat cop. Chase fills her in off-screen, and Anna's not pleased he undermined the case against Willow. Anna asks about the traffic cam footage, and Chase says he'd never destroy evidence, and he was cleared by IA. Anna offers him a road back to detective. She wants to connect the dots between Cassius, Britt, and Ross Cullum, and if Chase can find the evidence she needs, they'll see about getting his detective shield back. Then Dante interrupts, and Chase heads out. Dante knows she's looking for the evidence, and tells her she's not going to find it. It's been permanently lost. He takes full responsibility for it being lost, and Anna says it's not like him to be sloppy. She understands there are a lot of unanswered questions about Cullum's conduct and his death, which has nothing to do with what happened on the pier. Anna says they may never know what happened, and perhaps they should leave the pier case closed. So Anna is backing down, for now at least. Then we're at Bobby's, where Molly is stunned when Cody tells her Maxie and Spinelli are moving to Australia, where Spinelli was offered a job. The entire family leaves tomorrow. They are pretty traumatized by Cassius' lies, especially James. Right on cue, Felicia and Max show up with James, and Molly takes James aside to look at pictures of wombats on her phone. Mac apologizes to Cody that James is taking this Cassius mess out on him. Mac and Felicia push Cody to talk to James. The boy leaving while still angry at Cody isn't good for him. Cody finally approaches James and tells Molly they have to head out to check out the new colt Daffodil had. James gets excited, wishes he was there to see it born. Cody shows James a video of the colt standing for the first time. James loves it, they bump fists. James asks what the colt's name is, and Cody was thinking of calling him West. James loves it. Cody offers to send photos while he's in Australia. The boy says Australia is hot, he'll need his hat, but he doesn't have it anymore. Cody tells him to hold that thought. Then we cut to the boathouse, where Alexis has brought Scout over to swim, and Michael tells the young girl what she's doing is impressive. Nina and Willow arrive with Drew, and Scout is thrilled her dad is here. Scout begins her swim as Alexis times her, and everyone watches. Nina and Willow go into the boathouse. Neither expected Michael to be here. Nina offers to stay if Willow wants to go, but Willow says they both need to be here to make sure Drew doesn't pull anything. Willow fears they are running out of time, and if Brennan can't help, she'll have to get help from someone else. After Nina sings Brennan's praises, Willow realizes her mom slept with him. Willow asks why she thought this was a good idea. Nina says Drew, and this mess weren't on her mind at that moment. Willow says if Jack doesn't come through, they'll have to take drastic action to control Drew. On the docks, Alexis tells Michael that Scout believes her dad is going to recover, and maybe if he does, it might change him. Michael doesn't see that happening. We see Drew make a fist, and that's ominous. And then at Deception, Tracy leaves a 14th message for Maxie asking why she divested her shares. Lucy walks into the Deception office where Brooklyn and Tracy are, accusing Tracy of snaking Maxie's shares. Tracy accuses Lucy of taking advantage of Brooklyn's dissolving marriage to steal her shares. They have no idea who has them until Michael shows up, and he announces he is the one Maxie sold her shares to. Maxie wanted to make sure she's sold to someone who would make decisions as she would, and for the good of the company. Tracy loves that she, Brooklyn, and Michael can vote against Lucy now, but Michael insists his votes will always be for the good of the company. In the show's final moments, Charlotte storms by Gio and Emma at the pool, and Gio stops her and asks if everything is okay with her and Rocco. Charlotte says it's fine. Emma tells Charlotte that Gio just signed with a label and kisses him. It's clear Charlotte's jealous. At Bobby's, Cody brings James his hat. The boy thanks him for not throwing it away, especially after he was so mean to him. They decide to keep up with weekly video chats. James asks how cowboys say goodbye, and Cody says they say see you around, partner. They both say it to one another and hug, and yes, I cried. Michael makes a proposal to the Deception ladies, which infuriates Lucy. He knows he doesn't have a majority vote, so he only needs one of them to vote with him. Tracy and Lucy refuse, so Brooklyn sides with Michael because she likes his idea. Laura tells Sunny she wants to focus on Rocco and his trauma. At the PCPD, Anna tells Dante she trusts him and asks if he can be a little warmer to Chase. Dante says he will, and steps out. Peter appears and says, "So you figured it out?" Anna knows Dante's protecting his son. Peter says now she can put her attention where it belongs. Britt and Cassius are the reason she experienced the hell she did. He says, "They're just like me, and we are all like our father." First up, and this is the one I've been chewing on all day, what the heck is Peter August doing back in this storyline? He just walked into Anna's office and basically told her to pivot her attention to Britt and Cassius, and I suspect this is going to be the opening move in a much bigger August family reunion arc. Peter has been off-screen for a while, so bringing him back at this exact moment, when we're already connecting Cassius, Britt, and Ross Cullum, that doesn't feel random to me at all. My guess is Peter has information about the August family and the cover-up that Anna has been chasing for years, and he's finally ready to weaponize it. If that's where they're going, and I could see it, then we're going to learn some really dark things about Cassius and Britt that tie directly back to Heather Weber and the original August playbook. Honestly, I think we're looking at a multi-generation diabolical family plot, which is classic General Hospital. Next, I want to talk about Rocco and Scout because the writers clearly tried to slip that in under the radar at the end of the episode. Scout just invited Rocco to come watch her swim every day this summer, and Rocco showed up at the Coeur d'Alene docks right when she was getting out of the water. You would think that's nothing, but look at the timing. They put that beat right after we'd just spent 20 minutes watching Rocco scream at Charlotte and tell her he won't take the fall for Danny anymore. I'm betting the show is setting up a teen romance between Rocco and Scout, and Danny is going to lose his mind when he finds out. I could see this going absolutely catastrophic for Danny, especially since Scout is Drew's daughter and Danny is already fragile about being the hero who lost Jason to jail. It's not a stretch that this gets very dramatic very fast. And I wonder if the show will lean into a love triangle or just use Scout as a way to give Rocco some peace and stability, and no, I don't think it's going to be the second one. The writers love the chaos. Next, let's look at Willow and Nina and what they're about to do with Drew, because Willow just told Nina that if she can't control Drew, she'll be shipped off to Penville, and you can almost see the wheels turning in Nina's head. I suspect Nina is about to make a move that she thinks is protective but is actually going to blow up in everyone's face. Maybe she tries to reach out to Brennan for one more favor, or maybe she enlists Jason, who we know is coming back next episode and telling Drew it's time for a new chapter. I wonder if the show is about to do another Willow frame job arc, where Drew does something terrible and Willow ends up holding the bag again, or vice versa. My guess is that Drew's clenched fist at the pool is going to be the moment that sets the explosion off, and I'm betting Drew makes a power move at that pool before the summer is out. And last but not least, let's talk about Michael at Deception, because that was the surprise of the day. Maxie sold her shares to Michael so he'd vote in Maxie style, which is not Lucy and not Tracy. Brooklyn already sided with Michael, and Tracy is furious. I suspect this is a slow-motion coup against Lucy, and Michael is going to spend the next few episodes playing Lucy and Tracy against each other while he builds his own little power base. I could see Michael being the silent mover of the business storyline, and I wonder if we'll ever find out if he really bought those shares himself or if someone else is backing him quietly. Now, before I go, I do want to touch on the Cody and James goodbye for a second, because it genuinely crushed me. James asking how cowboys say goodbye was the best kid beat the show has done in months, and I think the show is going to keep Cody and James connected through weekly video chats, which is going to give us some really sweet moments, but also some really painful ones when James starts to drift. I'm betting James and Cody will have one more big emotional scene before the week is out, and I wonder if Felicia will eventually admit to James that Cassius is something he is to grieve, not just a man who lied to him. Also, let's not sleep on Charlotte and Rocco, because I think it's easy to miss, but it's important. Charlotte lost her dad to jail again in her heart, and now her best friend Danny is the reason Rocco has been suffering in silence. Charlotte is lonely, yes, but she also keeps picking fights when she should be picking her battles. I suspect her and Danny are going to have a fallout before too long, because Rocco's comment about her dad being arrested again is going to echo for a while. It's not a stretch that Charlotte ends up being the one who forces Danny to actually apologize to Rocco, and I wonder if this is how the show reconciles the whole Danny in jail storyline without making him a hero or scrubbing his arc clean. My verdict, and I'm not hedging on this one, Dante is going to get away with destroying that evidence and stay a protected cop father. Willow is going to do something unhinged at that pool before the summer is out. Peter August is the wild card who pulls every August family thread back together, and Michael just quietly became the most dangerous player in Port Charles. We'll see. Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Rodica is on all the major podcast platforms including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.